Another player who has had recent success on the tour is Scott Hend. Starlight, Starbright, and yet another star we see tonight. Hend returned to his Aussie sporting roots as he took some downtime to train with the local Australian rules football team, the ANZ Jakarta Bintangs. But what is Australian rules football?
Well, AFL, you just got to try and, you can't run more than say 15 metres to the ball. You've got to hand pass it to one of your teammates. The end goal is to try and kick it through the big post in the middle for 6 points.
And he did enough to impress the Bintangs head coach, Chris Bandy.
He's obviously knows a bit about footy and came out and he showed us his kicking and his handballing and marking, and yeah, look, Hendy knew what was going on and knew how to do it all. So, I mean, we'd have him at the Bintangs and have him come for a run, and he'd make our team any day of the week.
So perhaps a career in the AFL beckons.
Not a chance. Not a chance at all. No, not even as an orange carrier.
Well, of course, it's golf where Hend excels. To date, he has 7 professional wins under his belt across the Canadian, Australian and Asian tours. And it was a sweet moment as he reminisced on the good old days when he had his breakthrough win at the Pertamina Indonesia President Invitational in 2008.
It's nice to see the first trophy ever won on the Asian Tour. It's nice to have my second one too from the other week. Yeah, I haven't seen it for a while, it's nice to see it again. I do remember it was quite heavy, but it's pretty good.
His second silverware came after a long-awaited 4-year stretch when he clinched the ISPS Handa Singapore Classic in April this year. Finishing with the clubhouse lead at 11 under par, the 38-year-old had an anxious wait to see if his closest pursuer, David Lipsky, would push it to a playoff.
I've come close through the years, just not to get across the line, and I've come close in Europe to winning as well and haven't got across the line. And it just gets to a point where you think, well, I'm working hard, is it going to happen? And, you know, it was a surprise because I was in before everybody. It wasn't like I was last group, but it was a surprise and a nice surprise to win it.
Well, what was remarkable is that the big-hitting Aussie actually improved his stroke average this year. Incidentally, he's also the longest hitter on tour, consistently topping the charts for driving average. So what's his secret technique?
I get a bit of linseed and put it on the golf ball. Just get the ball, goes through the air a bit better. No, actually, I've just been lucky, you know. Ever since I was a young kid, I've got pretty good levers through the golf ball. I can turn through the golf ball quite quick. I mean, as I'm getting older, obviously you put on a bit more weight. I don't hit it as far anymore. But you still got to work on your core strength and you got to work on your tricep strength. And to hit a golf ball long, if you can get your arms back and get your triceps working through the ball, it's a lot easier to pull the club down in through the ball and then turn through the ball. You just got to make sure you rotate your body through the shot.
In 2005, he also led the long drive stat in his 2-year stint on the PGA Tour. But that period also proved he had much to learn in golf.
Well, I was overawed. I think I missed my first 6 cuts in a row, and then I finished 3rd at the Bell South Classic. And then I thought to myself, well, I can do this. It's not as hard as what I think. So when I got there, all you remember is you see things on TV. All you do is you see the players on TV, you see the courses on TV. You're not used to playing in America. But once you get over the initial surprise of being on the tour, some guys find it easier to settle in, some don't. But I would like to have another go at it because I think I made a few mistakes which I wouldn't make again if I got back there. But the hardest part is getting back there.
The recipe for success could very well lie in family support. And that's something that our 2-time champion looks forward to, quality time with his loved ones.
Oh, well, I speak to my kids pretty much on a daily basis on Skype. When you go home, it sort of doesn't feel like you've been away so much because you still know what's going on and you get to ask them questions. And it's nice to have the support because my daughter drew a picture the other day of me holding the trophy up. She saw it on the internet, so she drew a picture and showed it to me. And you know, they want to see the trophy and that sort of stuff. It's pretty cool.
While his family is the source of his inspiration right now, we wonder what his motivation was growing up.
I used to play baseball, cricket, basketball, volleyball, badminton, whatever got me out of doing schoolwork. And I'll be totally honest with you, every time you were in a sports team, it was another day off school. When I lived in the Northern Territory, I was in the rugby league team. So I think it was every third or fourth Wednesday of the month, we'd drive from Katherine up to Darwin to play a rugby league game. It's perfect. There was another day off school. That's just what it was. And my teachers, all my teachers used to say to me, you're never going to make it as a sportsman. You can't make a living out of sport. And I said, well, just watch me. And I found a sport to try and make a living out of. And fortunately, I've been quite lucky in the fact that I've worked hard enough and I can graft a living out of playing golf.
So kids, if you think you want to follow Hendy's footsteps, here's a piece of advice from the man himself.
Go to school. Go to school and get an education.